Welcome to the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting stories from Reddit. Story 1. My girlfriend asked for an open relationship after cheating. She got it, but now wants to close it. Well, I'm a long-time lurker, but now I think I'm a part of a club that any of us wanted to be. Sorry for poor English, throw away for secrecy. My girlfriend and I are both 23, been together for 4 years at this point and had a pretty good relationship, or so I thought. I'm on college and working part-time, so I can pay the bills. She does this too, but we do not live together. I'm a very romantic guy, so every time we were together, I was all over her, kissing, hugging, that's my love language, and she did it too, but a few weeks ago she started pulling away from me, stopped initiating, etc. I knew what was up. I've read enough stories from here to know what was coming my way. I started to pull away as well, and drop simple hints that I knew something, but did not confront her, didn't touch her either for that entire week. I think that did the trick because at the end of the week she confessed, but of course with much gaslighting, but weirdly she did not blame shit feet anything, drops out that she have been going on random dates for 2 weeks at that point. She already had like 5 of them. She said the whole "I want to explore" thing, and I just agreed. I knew this was over, but didn't want her to explode at that point by ending things, so I just played along. She proposed an open relationship with some rules, like not sleeping over, no more than 1 or 2 dates with the same person and not sleeping with friends, and I agreed. I'm a kinda good-looking guy, I'm not very pretty, but I take care of myself. That has been enough for having some flirt from girls in college or form work, so I knew I would have a bunch of dates without dropping a sweat. She is a pretty girl, so she had her share too, but when I was at her place, and had a date that night, she would just stare at me while I dressed up, and I knew she was jealous, but I just couldn't give a shit. We barely had sex and the affection I gave her before did not exist anymore. She grown a little depressed over the course of 3 weeks and last night she asked to close up the relationship, and I couldn't hold it, so I blasted out laughing, and told her no. She was the one that wanted to keep a relationship and didn't lift a single finger to work for it. So then I didn't give a damn about it too, I just ended things right there and then, and gone out for my date. Today she is blowing up my phone asking for forgiveness and to be back together. I didn't respond, but she gone as far as give me a hall pass for sleeping around. Now I'm here, writing this stuff trying to think why, but I don't think I'll find out. Thanks for hearing my vent. TLDR, my girlfriend asked for an open relationship after cheating. I agreed. But now that I had a bunch of dates she wants to close it, so I broke up with her. Update. Hey guys, I posted here like 2 months ago about my ex-girlfriend that confessed cheating on me with a bunch of random dates because she wanted to be free, but still loved me. My posted was removed, so I will give you a little bit of context. I may repost it on my own profile if you guys want to check it out. Long story short, when she confessed, asked for an open relationship to explore, I said sure. Why not, and had my bunch of dates, but still fooling her that we were still on a relationship. She had been just demoted to FWB and didn't knew. After 3 weeks of seeing me go on dates, she got depressed and asked to close the relationship again, so I broke up with her. Now for the update. It's now Christmas afternoon here, and her family has just passed by and greeted me, thanking me for being a good son-in-law for them for the last year, and apologized for their daughter's behavior. That caught me off guard, because I didn't thought that my ex would tell them the truth about the nature of our breakup, especially with the fact that they hadn't contacted me in any way over those 2 months that had passed. This is the fact that triggered me to update on my situation. About my situation with my ex. Now there is none. It has been a little bit more than a month with NC, and I'm very happy with that. We maintained a little bit of contact, but not the normal one, I must say, LOL. She was stalking me on my socials, leaving creepy responses on other girls' comments with random accounts. Every time I blocked one, she created other 2. How did I know it was her? She told me while chasing me. She camped outside my house on a weekend day, waiting for me to come out and ambushing me into talking to her again. When I opened my garage to start working on my bike, she just jumped right in and tried hugging me. It's pretty pathetic, but I started running around my house with her after me trying to catch me to do God knows what. I was able to call the police and got to hide inside my house again. My garage was still open though, so she kicked my bike down and screwed it up a little bit. Soon the cops arrived and got her arrested. She resisted, which caused to worse her situation. I testified and they let me go. She got admitted on a mental facility for some issues she already had, but hasn't treated correctly, and mostly because of the psychotic breakdown she was having at the moment. I don't really know how she got that obsessed with me. We hadn't talked since I blocked her in the day of the post I made. But being now on NC for that long again is giving me hope that this shit show is about to end, my friends. I got now a restraining order and I hope to never see her again in my life. Thanks for the support you guys gave me on my other post. I didn't got to answer everyone, but I read it all. Again thank you. TLDR, my crazy cheating ex-girlfriend stalked me and got admitted into a mental facility. Story 2. I, 26, think my girlfriend, 25, is cheating on me, but I might just be paranoid. 5 years. English is not my native language, so please excuse the grammar. Throw away for obvious reasons. Okay, first of I was. If I'm just going insane, to spend the rest of my life with her. I feel sick to my stomach just suspecting this, but I don't know, I just feel as if something is wrong. Let me explain. Okay, so these last years she has been staying with me. I pay rent / food, everything, and I have been putting in extra hours to fast track my career. The only problem with this is she is demanding. I have to speak to her every half an hour on Skype and always let her know where I am /going, not complaining, I love it, and when I am not working I have to spend it with her. The last few months she has been complaining that I don't give her all the attentions that she needs, and I have sat her down and said that when I am not with her I am building a life for us. Here is where the problem comes in. The last few weeks she hasn't been asking for any attention, I mean none. When I come home she is happy and talks to me, but in the day dead silence. I know this girl better that her parents talking is like breathing. But if she isn't communicating with me, then with who? Can't be her friends, cause not one of them can talk with her for so much, and I don't think she is giving me room cause she tell me everything she does. I asked her why so quiet and she said I was just really busy. How can being unemployed be busy? I know this must sound crazy from an outside perspective, but I can't shake the feeling that she is getting her emotional outlet from some else. I can feel it in my bones, something is off and it's killing me. How she or me has never cheated to my knowledge, and I have never ever suspected or though she was capable till now. TLDR, girlfriend is not craving attention from me now, I think she is cheating. Update 1. Fist off thanks to anyone who replied to my last post, it's been a hard few days. Okay, so I decided to have a chat with my girl, but only after I did some snooping. Long story short, I now know she is cheating on me with one of her friends. From what I have gathered from the messages they have had says a few times, and she has no intention of leaving me, but that makes me feel even worse. In the messages I found the guy was pleading her to leave me, to which she then replied to him that he will never be able to look after her like I do. So she just with me because I got money. This has completely killed me. I feel like I have broken every bone in my body. I have taken off work and I'm sitting a friend house trying to figure out how I'm going to confront her about this. There is no way that I'm not going to break up with her, but I still don't know what tell her. I don't want to shout, or cry or whatever, I just want her out of my life. I want to pretend that this never happened, that I did not waste 5 years investing into a relationship that was founded on lies. Anyway, there it is, the shitstorm that is my love life. TLDR, my girlfriend is a cheating gold-digging witch. Update 2. Wow, sort of forgot about this update with everything that happened. So the day I found out of her infidelity, I called my boss and took 2 days off work to sort out this mess. I went over to my best friend's flat, had a long chat with him, but eventually he had to leave for work, so I sat on his couch alone, drinking whiskey out of the bottle. This is when I posted on Reddit. Meanwhile, my girlfriend at the time was in my flat. I own the flat, totally oblivious to the fact that I know. But in my drunken state I devised my plan. Later that day, after sobering up, I called my girlfriend. I told her that I have to imminently leave on a business trip as my boss, who was supposed to go, suddenly fell ill, and that I will only be returning on Monday. She stated shitting on my head about me working all the time and how the company does not value me as an employee. At this point I am grinding my teeth and just using every bit of my willpower not to shout at her. I tell her that I will make it up to her by buying her a weekend spa trip in spa hotel 2 towns over. She agrees and the plan is set in motion. So I sleep over at my friend's place as I am out of town on business. I call her the next day to say that I booked her a bus ticket and spa. She gets pissed off that she can't use my car, but I tell her that the car has been breaking these last few days and that I don't want her to be stranded 2 towns over. Bus leaves 12, so I called her 12:10 to hear if she has left. 12:40 I arrive at flat and start to categorize everything in two piles, mine and hers. 1300 hours the two moving company trucks arrive that I organized yesterday. A bunch of guys arrive and stats to pack everything into two boxes. 1500 hours locksmith arrives, changes locks. 15:30 trucks are packed and all is good. So the one truck is taking my stuff to my friend's house, while the other truck is taking all her stuff to a storage locker. I block her on all social networks, phone, email etc. 16:30 my friend goes over to the guy who she cheated on me with, gives him the key to the storage locker and tell him what I did. He leaves out the part where I am going to stay. 1700 hours get back to my friend's house and we open up a bottle of wine and drink to new beginnings. Now knowing that the only place where she can find me is at work, I email a photo of her to company's security office and tell them that this woman has been harassing me and now knows where I work. She also claims that she is my girlfriend, please don't let her into the building. Next I cancel the credit card I gave her, in my name, and stop all money that I put into her accounts every month. So over the course of the week she has tried contacting me multiple times. She only came to my work once, but I think security probably scared her so bad that she won't come back. Every message I get that starts with "I am so sorry" I delete without even reading. She made her bed, she should lay in it. So there it is, for better or worse I am done with her. I know I should proofread this, but in all honesty I just want to be done with it. TLDR, I cut my girlfriend out of my life forever. Story 3. Girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend. I've been going out with this girl for the last year and a half. We lived together. Helped each other with bills. We had most of the same friends. One friend in particular seemed like a brother to me. We hung out all the time. If there was ever anything going on, we were usually in it together. He had relationship problems recently, and actually went so far as to consider committing suicide. When he left a note for me and my significant other, I wasted no time in calling the police. After noticing some seemingly innocent status updates on his Facebook, but which took on much more dire connotations in light of his suicide note, we realized he was updating them via his smartphone. We gave the number to the dispatcher, and they tracked it down. Before long, police rolled up and placed him under arrest and transported him to the hospital. Once things were under control, the nurse came out to a waiting room full of people there to show support to our friend. She said that at this time, he can only have one visitor. I looked at everyone and every single person there looked at me, unanimously deciding that I should be the one. "You're his best friend," they said. "You called the police. You acted. You should go see him." So I went and I saw. A tear-stained hug and some easy banter exchanged, things seemed to be on an upward trend. He never hurt himself. He was released a few days later, and everyone was making an effort to keep him occupied. We always had a friend's place to go to and hang out, a movie to hit up, some games to play. What sparked this was the fact that his significant other decided to leave him for someone else. This marks the second time this happened to him. That was background on the friend. Now it's time for the girlfriend. We had an issue a few months back. She developed feelings for a friend of ours. She never did anything physical, but she was texting him inappropriate things. Several things were the cause of this. In my opinion, this first one is one of the most important. "I'm safe and boring." Ever seen that movie, This Means War? With the two brothers who accidentally date the same girl, and end up fighting over her? One is exciting, goes to clubs, dresses nice, and drives nice cars, all that nonsense. The other one is described as safe and boring. There's not much excitement there. You kind of see what's coming before it happens, and you're not impressed at either point. But, like any roller coaster, you don't have the downs that accompany it either. That's one of the few things I have going for me. I'm stable, comfortable, upfront. If I'm thinking something and you need to know, I'll tell you. I won't pretty it up or draw it out or hide it behind fake smiles and dirty looks to your back. I won't let it fester and blow up in your face later. I'll tell you. In fact, I'll tell you my thought process just so you can better understand why I'm feeling the way I do. I'm safe. This friend from a few months ago was exciting. She's young, and that excitement attracted her. I made a mistake too. I checked her phone without her permission. It's kind of hard to feel bad though, considering what I found. I called her out on a few of the things she was texting him. She apologized and said it wouldn't happen again. The biggest thing for me though, was that she lied. I'm an open-minded kind of guy. I understand the excitement that comes from sleeping with someone else. I enjoy that too. That's why we actually tried swinging a couple of times. It allows us to experience that excitement, without cheating on each other or going behind each other's backs. In my opinion, there's the physical part of a relationship, and the emotional part. I don't mind both of us sleeping with another couple. But, emotionally, we belong to each other, and no one else. That's my thinking on that subject. Everyone may not agree with it. I just ask that you don't judge me on it. This is why I can honestly say, if she had told me about her feelings before pursuing them, I might have been more open to the idea. I told her that too. Just don't lie to me, I told her. You can tell me anything. You can tell me you want to sleep with this guy, or you're developing feelings for that guy. And I wouldn't hold it against her. But if she does things behind my back, that pisses me off. After that first time, I thought things would get better. Then I find out that she went to lunch with this guy without telling me. After what happened the first time. Her excuse was that she didn't think it'd be a problem because it's a public place. I called her out on that too. I reiterated the fact that I just want her to be honest with me. Quit lurking in the shadows trying to have your cake and eat it too. Be honest, and things will go a lot smoother. Then the big one hit. Well, not the big one. But it was pretty big. I was just finishing up a shower. I passed by the computer chair that she was sitting on, and caught a glance at her phone. I thought I saw another text to this guy, a rather inappropriate text. I asked her about it. I asked if I could see her phone. She gave it to me without any hesitation. I checked, but couldn't find the message. I honestly thought I was getting paranoid. I asked her, and she replied in the negative. She never sent anything like that. I apologized, honestly concerned for my sanity. It's not healthy to become obsessed over anything, but especially not your significant other's devotion to you. I hopped on Facebook later that day, and saw the guy I thought she was texting. As I mentioned, he's a mutual friend of both of ours. I apologized, and asked his advice. I think I'm losing my mind. I thought I saw her sent you a text along the lines of. She did, he responded. What? I replied. She sent that text. I can show it to you when we come over later if you want. Yes please. He comes over later and shows me the text. It's exactly what I thought I saw. She deleted it on the fly without me noticing. I thought I was paying close attention. She didn't even delete the whole thread, just that one message that could be construed in a negative light. Side note, the friend never did anything to instigate any of this. He never led her on or left suggestive comments. He was proper the whole time. The only thing he might have done wrong is not tell me about it immediately. Okay, back to the story. I called her out on it. I told her that I saw the text. I told her that she lied to my face. She looked me in the eye and lied without even flinching, without even feeling remorse. I told her after the lunch thing that if she did anything of the sort again, I was going to leave her. And I did. I broke up with her that night. She lied to me, to the point where I was questioning my sanity. I'm good at reading people, but I couldn't detect a hint of anything when she told me she didn't text that to him. She is very good at lying. And I left her. Later that night, the friend's significant other texted me and talked to me for a while. She said that I should give her another shot. You can always break up later if she does it again. But if you leave her, there's no taking that back. I had calmed down a bit by this point, and thought I saw reason in her words. So, I took her back. I stressed the importance of honesty, of not lying. It's not like she actually cheated on me or anything, it was just some text messages. And things went fine for the next few months. But I never trusted her after that. After I saw her ability to lie, I never trusted her. Fast forward to after the suicide incident. We've been kind of rocky since the inappropriate text messages. But we're getting through it. Then I start noticing little things. Things I saw before. Things that led to me checking her phone and finding inappropriate text messages to a friend of ours. You see, when you're cheating on someone, you act different. You don't realize it, but you do. Little things here and there add up subconsciously in the mind of someone who knows you well. Like your significant other. These things added up in my head the first time. These things were happening again. I checked her phone. Again, I should feel bad about that, but considering what I had found, it's hard to feel bad. She slept with him. The suicide guy. She was talking about how good he was, and he was returning the praise. I called her out on it. Apparently it had been happening for the last 3 days. 3 times. All at his place. And it was going to keep happening. Here was a guy that I thought was my best friend. Here was a guy that I would have done anything for, without hesitation. And he was banging my girlfriend behind my back. After he just went through his girlfriend cheating on him with another guy, he goes and has sex with my girlfriend. Here was a girl that I cared about a lot. Here was a girl that I gave several chances to, explaining in great detail my need for honesty. I told her, she had trouble believing this at first, but considering who I am in our past, she had to concede that I probably was telling the truth about this, that if she had told me she wanted to sleep with him, I probably would have been okay with it. Honesty was what mattered to me. But she lied. And she was going to keep lying. I had to get out of there. I hopped in my car. There are several highways around our city that connect and make a sort of square. I circle that when I get upset. I'm glad there weren't many police out that night, because I know I broke several speed limits. I played something loud and violent, and turned it up to drown out my thoughts. My friends were there for me. Several took me out that night to some social events for our summer. We got shakes, drove around, listened to music, watched a marathon finish up. Then we went back to a friend's place and drank. I hoped that would help, but it didn't. I got a slight buzz, but one of the friends drank too much and started vomiting. Another was pretty hammered. And here I barely got a buzz. *LESI. I cleaned up the one friend and put them both to bed. I cleaned up the mess so the roommates wouldn't be upset in the morning. I washed the one friend's clothes, and the blanket, that she threw up on. Then I lay down to go to sleep. And my brain started processing everything I had been putting off. I didn't sleep that night. I did my best to go about my normal business. I searched for the inner fat kid in me and curled up to some Fritos scoops with cheese dip and a cold Pepsi. Skyrim on the tube, forgetting my world by delving into the world of dragons. Over the next few days my friends really helped. They distracted me. They consoled me. They were there for me. Obviously all of them have less than positive feelings toward my ex and her most recent lover. But I still feel something toward her. It pains me to see her at odds with everyone she knew. She has no one to turn to in her time of pain. Granted, she caused it, and deserves it, but love is strange. I want to help her. I don't think I want to date her. She's young, and flighty, apparently. But I'd like to be her friend. I'd like to help her bridge the gaps she made in her other friendships. I don't mind if she dates someone else, sleeps with someone else, or anything like that. As I said, I don't want to date her. But, I can't handle her hanging around that guy. She doesn't have anyone to turn to, so she turns to him. I don't know if they had sex, or if they just hung out. But, she was with him. I explain my reasoning. I can be friends with her, but not if she's with him. I always hated the people that leave ultimatums like that, but in this case, I feel it's justified. I make sure she understands that I'm not trying to give her false hope. I'm only offering a friendship, and a rocky one at that. But, she has to give him up. She can't have us both, in any capacity. Reddit, am I wrong to do this? I don't like leaving that sort of ultimatum. It may even be a bad idea for me to consider even being friends with her. But this is what I did. She couldn't decide right away. And that hurt. The fact that it wasn't a snap decision hurt me quite a bit. I thought I was handling it well, but in fact I was just putting it off. And that brought it back. She thinks so little of me that she may end up choosing him over me. She has to weigh her options. Given her penchant for lying, I explained to her that she won't be able to placate me with promises, and then sneak around behind my back. If I catch even a whiff of her doing anything, I'm gone for good. I do my best to get my point across. But, then again, I thought I got my point across the last time. This is my story Reddit. I'm sorry it's long and quite long-winded. It helps to get this all of my chest though. I'm doing my best to give enough backstory so you fully understand the level of betrayal I've endured. What should I do now? TLDR, my girlfriend of a year and a half slept with my best friend. There's some backstory to further illustrate just how vile and evil this act was. And some questions at the end. Update. I figured I should give everyone an update on how things have turned out since the first post. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. I tried to do what everyone told me not to. I tried to be friends, keep the lines of communication open, all of that nonsense. We slept together once since we broke up. Strictly for the physical, on my end there were no feelings to be had. Stupid, I know. It hasn't happened again. She's gone on dates and, in all likelihood, has slept with other men. I'm okay with that. It doesn't cause my blood to boil the way it used to. Recently, however, she has been an emotional wreck. I think she always assumed we'd get back together. She tried recently, and realized for the first time that it wasn't happening. Now she's in a depressed funk, pushes everyone away and then gets upset that she's alone and no one's there to check on her. Crying, not eating, etc. I tried to help for a while, but every time she would turn our conversation toward trying to get back together. Playing on my sympathies, trying to manipulate me. It's a lot easier to see now that I'm not so blinded. As for the other guy, the story is a bit sadder. I mentioned in the first post how he had tried to commit suicide a while back, and I was the one there for him. Well, he tried again, only this time he succeeded. I'll admit that I had no interest in seeing him ever again, but I certainly never wanted this. However, I can't help but feel at least partially responsible. Everyone assures me this isn't the case, but still. This has also added to the depression that the girl is experiencing, and she even lightly touched on the prospect of following in his footsteps. I got a hold of a lot of the people that still cared about her, gave them her address, updated them on the situation, and stepped away. I understand her friends and family are helping her. Spending time with her, getting her out into the world, trying to make sure she's not spending a lot of time alone. I, however, am trying to keep my distance. Any help to be had can't come from me. There's nothing I can say or do that would help, so my best option is to keep my distance. I'm hoping things turn out okay. There's been entirely too much drama over the course of this year. All I wanted was the quiet life. I'm the safe guy, remember? All of this excitement drains the life out of me. So, here's to a quieter future. Raises can of Pepsi in hand. Oh, and thanks to everyone who offered support and advice. Reddit really is a good community, and I'm glad to be a part of it.